how to find your MBTI type with cognitive functions. So you think you know your MBTI type? How about your Kolbe type? We're going to dive deep into it. Your personality isn't just 4 letters. You are a unique human being, and the more you can understand who you are, the better you can be in life. What if your true MBTI type isn't what you had on the test, but something else? By the end of this video, you'll actually be able to test your cognitive type and understand how you best take action in life. So the Myers-Briggs Type Indicators gives you a personality assessment. It lets you know if you're an introvert or an extrovert. It shows sensing and intuition. It gives you a score on your thinking and your feeling, and a score on judging and perceiving. And this test, while you may think, oh, this is going to be hardwired into me and my personality is permanent, there's a phenomenal book by Benjamin Hardy, a friend of mine who I love. He wrote a book that's called Your Personality Isn't Permanent. The issue with personality tests is it doesn't allow us to access the deeper parts of our brain and our cognitive performance in ways that other tests may actually help. And so there's a couple things you can add with your Myers-Briggs Type Indicator or your MBTI, and this test is called the Kolbe Profile. So Kathy Kolbe, her father was one of the geniuses who put together the intellectual quotient or the IQ test. And she realized that even though there's all these brilliant people in the world had massively high IQs, it didn't translate into them being very high performers when it came to day-to-day life. And so she started breaking it down. She realized that it's not necessarily how smart you are intellectually, but it's actually how well you take action on things. And just like Benjamin Hardy said, it isn't permanent because you're always becoming somebody new. And that's where the brain becomes really exciting, because who you are today, yes, your DNA is going to be the same and who your soul is endless, but you actually can become something totally different. And so the first step is you want to identify what is your Kolbe profile. So Kolbe profile, there's 4 types. You can be a fact finder, and there's 4, usually you're dominant in 1 of these types, but some people are dominant in 2, and there's a kind of a tie, or even 3. But you're going to be a fact finder, a follow through, a quick start, or an implementer. And so take the test and see, do the Kolbe score assessment. And I think you'll be surprised at what you learn about yourself, because what I've learned in working with my team and working with clients is there's a lot of us who are fact finders. And so we want all of the details. We need to analyze things before we feel confident in taking action. And anytime you're learning something new and you're developing all these new neural pathways, you do need some information. And I don't know if you've noticed it, but how many times do you recognize, like maybe fellas, you go to your wife and you're like, hey, let's go on a trip next week. And your wife's like, okay, well, who's going to take care of the kids? Who's going to take care of the dogs? And by the way, we already have something planned and you didn't think through the details. Not that I've ever done this, but I know people who have. Okay, that's me all the time because I'm a quick start. And my quick start score on a Kolbe is a 9. And so what that means is I can jump into projects and I can take action on things and I learn in reverse. I actually learn by doing much faster than I can learn by giving me all the facts and then I try to memorize the facts and then follow the process. I can do better just by going with my gut instincts and making a decision that way. But having a wife who's a fact finder, she's a 9 on the fact finder. So you can imagine when Regan has all of his fun, creative ideas and his spontaneity, while it does break her out of the routine, which she appreciates, I equally appreciate the fact that she can identify the data, isolate where the problems are going to be in the plan, in the strategy, and then we can work together as a team. And before we actually understood our types, she would say, I can't believe you forgot we have the family function next weekend. And she thought it was like some personal attack because I was, would shift the plans. And then I was just trying to have fun. And what's the big deal? And I didn't realize we had that. And it would be this course of tension. And then we went to this workshop and we understood each other's Kolbe profile. So everybody took the Kolbe test, and I'd taken mine a few months earlier, so I actually was understanding my type. And then when we actually had our instructor come through and explain that there's a high level of friction if we don't respect each other's Kolbes, then we're able to work together, and that was where we started to open up. Our hearts opened up. We recognized each other's patterns. Now I try to make sure I've got as many details as I can for her. She also understands that I have, a need, and part of the way I work is seeing better opportunities and an easier way to do things. And that's changed everything. So the other part of that is what we call the follow-through. Follow-through, I'm a 2 on the follow-through. So what that means is, it doesn't mean I don't follow through on things, but a person who's got a long follow-through, they're going to build systems and processes. So the first thing they would want to do is say, okay, well, when we go on a trip, we need to go to hotels.com and then Hertz Rental Car. We always fly Delta, or whatever it is. And they have a system that they follow over and over again. And you need people like that in your life, and we need it in our businesses because it helps keep things predictable. But being a short follow-through, what I can see is where there's gaps in the system. And that's what I've learned to apply to biology, where I can read labs and I can understand where the gaps are in your body's health. And so building these body operation systems for thousands of clients, we can start to identify a system that doesn't have the right feedback loops. And if you get the right feedback loops in, then you can compress the time it takes you to get the outcome that you're looking for. And that's what we've done with peptides, with stem cells, with all the services that we provide, is we've been able to put together really solid systems that are predictable so that our clients, when they come in, they can get clarity on where they want to go in their health. What do you want to accomplish with your brain? What do you want to do from a cardiovascular perspective? What does your 10-year future look like? Your 20-year future, 30-year future? What are the things that you'd like to accomplish that you can't now? And then we go to diagnosis, and that's the second part in the system. And then the diagnostics allow us to understand the cause, and we can remove the cause. What's keeping your brain from functioning as well as it could? We may do an electroencephalogram. There may be deeper blood labs we do. We may do food sensitivity testing. We may test your gut because the neurotransmitters are made by these bacterial cultures in your gut. And then once we have the diagnosis, then that's where prediction comes in. So we can actually predict where your health will be in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, by following these steps. And then the final thing is the rejuvenation. And so in the Kolbe profile, just by working with people who have a long follow-through, it allows us to execute with every single patient that we work with in getting each step of their roadmap or their body operation system built so that you have an owner's manual for your health. And then the final one that we haven't talked about yet is the implementer. And the implementer is the person who likes to see things in 3-dimension. It's the quality control person. So if you have a long implementer, I bet we'd walk into your house and it looks really good. You like the highest quality of things. You may be an engineer. That's an implementer. If you have a short implement, then you may be able to visualize things, and you can see the end result just through visualization. And it doesn't mean you don't like high quality things, but it's not the big driver for you. And so just by understanding, you can merge this Myers-Briggs personality assessment, and you can use your personality to take action with the Kolbe profile. And what you'll notice is you'll have a lot more fun in life, because I look at health as 3 things. Health is defined as the amount of energy that you can generate. So what are the activities? What are the things that you love doing? And are you doing it in the way that you love doing it? I also define it as your best lifestyle. So are you living the life you want to live? Are you incongruent and have integrity with the commitments you've made for your health? And then the final thing is, how many fun experiences are you having in your life? And so if you can take these tests, you'll notice that your brain is more clear, it's more optimistic, you have a better vision because you're functioning in the way that you love functioning, and you are unique. You're somebody that we love, we care about, and I love nothing more than seeing people manifest who they are, because as Oscar Wilde said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. So if you love what you learned here, we're going to go deeper into cognitive performance in my next video. I'll see you there.